Awesome. Well, without further ado, let's kick this off. So, for starters, I just want to say thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Honestly, I couldn't be more thrilled to have this webinar and be able to kind of share White Label's incredible progress and growth that we've had, especially over the past 6 months. If I haven't met you in person or on LinkedIn or in a webinar, my name's Jen. I'm the VP of Operations here at White Label Storage. And I just wanted to get into some housekeeping kind of rules before we get started. So if you have any questions during the presentation, you can go ahead and drop them in the Q&A and we'll try to get those answered during this webinar. If we're not able to get to it, someone from my team will be able to reach out after we're done with today's session. And I will have a guest speaker as well, Michael Starkman with KISS, joining me later on in the presentation. And I'm so thrilled that he was able to be here with us. So kind of before we get started, I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with White Label Storage and how we get started. So I wanted to share a little bit of a backstory and also kind of some information on why I joined the company about 9 months ago. So in 2018, Alex Hartman and Peter Smythe, they were, friends at Harvard Business School, and they decided to kind of start a company called Local Locker. So their vision in life with this business was to create storage that's accessible to, renters and homeowners in urban markets. So they decided to take, underutilized space in those areas and convert them into 4x4s and 4x5s. And the business took off. They have about 60-ish locations on the Local Locker side. And what ended up happening is someone that they knew within the Local Locker division, asked them if they would manage their property. And that is officially how White Label came to be. They decided to see if there was a market out there for third-party management for smaller operators, is kind of what we were founded on. And they wanted to build a company that was really structured around a client first mentality, and also for smaller as well as large operators. They understood and saw in the industry that, those potentially small assets don't have the capabilities of going with third party management. So that's what we kind of built our program based around. I myself have been in the storage industry for about 7 years now. I started as a district manager many eons ago and have kind of flowed through some different positions in life. And I met Alex and Peter actually at a, New Orleans SSA show, and I thought that they were unbelievably impressive. So when I was ready to take the next step in my journey and help build a company with not only an amazing culture for clients, but also for employees, I knew that I was making the right choice coming to White Label. So I just kind of wanted to give that backstory before we get started. So again, thank you for joining us. Some things that we're going to go over today. So we'll provide some numbers on our performance metrics, kind of how we got there. We'll dive into our call center KPIs, which I'm very excited to kind of have Gabe present to everyone. We will share some product updates, some new integrations. We have a partner spotlight with KISS, and then some recent customer success stories. So really pumped to kind of share that all with you. So we'll start with our company performance metrics. So today at White Label, we have over 150 locations under management across 39 locations in the US as well as Canada. When I started in September, we had maybe 30 to 33 locations. So in about 9 months, we've onboarded over 120 locations, which is very impressive and wouldn't have been possible without the work of our entire team. So we have over 39,000 units in our portfolio. Our largest property has just over 1,500 units. It's in the beautiful state of California. And we have over 20 facilities that we've added into our portfolio in the last 30 days. So some great numbers that we just wanted to share, and I can go into how we got these results. So we have seen over the past 6 months an increase in occupancy by 38.2%. Our conversion rate, so our lead closure has increased by 37.5%. And we've increased our review capture by 52.5%. as well as our Google ratings that have increased by 11.4%, and we have decreased our delinquency. Later on in the webinar, I'll be sharing a little bit more about some of the products we use, but let me just kind of dive in real quick of how we were able to increase our occupancy and our conversion rate with our team. So, one of the things that we really focus on internally is ensuring that all of our employees are set up for success. So, not only do we give them the right tools and the right programs and just resource from a bandwidth perspective, but we provide guidance and feedback along the way. So, Gabe will be able to go into a little bit more as far as like, what we do with our call center and our agents through a coaching and development standpoint. But, we have remote site managers. As well as call center agents and operations managers. So we, on a weekly basis, we go through what we call as a QA, and we evaluate the performance of everyone, not from an aha, I got you standpoint, but from how can we all perform better for our clients and our tenants. So through this ongoing coaching mentality, we've been able to see our conversion rate skyrocket because we're closing more leads as they come in. We've built a lot of different integration tools to support them with that. So, as a company, we use Slack as part of our main internal communication channel. I'm sure everyone's familiar with it and probably hears the little huddle phone call coming through in their nightmares. But so what ends up happening is we have this awesome channel called a white labels lead channel. And what happens is the minute that a lead falls into StoreEdge, it automatically pings into that channel so that our site managers and our agents are ready to jump on that lead and get it closed so we can secure the rental. We know that if a lead comes in, you only have so long in this industry to close it and get them to move in before they go on to a competitor. So by putting that at the forefront and then coaching and developing by listening to calls, we've been able to increase that, which has obviously skyrocketed our occupancy across our portfolio. So we also set strong goals. So as a company, one of the things when I first got here was really figuring out who we should bring to the white label team. So one of the things that I did was obviously really start to focus on my partnerships in the industry, but also use LinkedIn as a resource. And we've made sure to recruit top talent into our company because we knew that we couldn't build and grow without all of their feedback and experiences that they've had throughout self-storage. We've redesigned our operating team structure. We set clear and ambitious benchmarks for each team. So, we have quarterly goals as well as yearly goals and company goals that we all focus on that align with the vision of the company and where we want to go. We've invested in developing purpose-built software, which we'll go into in a little bit, and we've focused on driving revenue. I wanted to take a moment to quickly introduce some of my team, which I could not do any of this without them. A company is only as good as its people, which is why we focus on ensuring that everyone is happy as well as satisfied in their roles on a daily basis. So, my right hand and left hand is Pam Coakley. She's our Assistant VP of Operations. We have Bryn, Danielle, and Misty, who are our three operations managers, and we actually have some more operations managers joining our team within the next few weeks, which I'm so excited about. Just with this team on the screen, we have over 60 years of combined self-storage experience that we've been able to bring to white label and provide feedback. I'm assuming all of you have been in the industry for quite some time, or maybe you're new to it. Not only can you swap self-storage horror stories, but you you can work together to say, here's this best practice that I had at this company or at this part of my life, and here's what worked well, here's what didn't work well. And when you combine all of that and have an open feedback forum as a company, you end up creating something great and unique to service both clients and tenants. So, one of the amazing things that we've been able to do with our marketing team this year is we achieved our Google partner status, which was an amazing thing to have accomplished, and I couldn't be prouder of them. So, if you're not familiar with why a Google partner status matters, it helps you exceed the Google's performance but benchmarks for ad campaigns. So obviously you all know that the more effective your ad campaign can be, the better performance that your facility is going to have. It's demonstrated sustained growth for our clients with Google Ad Manager. And it showcased extensive knowledge of the Google Ads platform and how to leverage it for all of our self-storage facilities. And I will kick it off to my amazing colleague, Gabe.
Good morning from the West Coast, everyone. I'm in Washington State. If we can jump to the next slide. Thanks for the introduction, Jen. My name is Gabriel Woodhead. I'm the Director of Customer Support. I have been with White Label for 3 very mighty months. It's been a lot of fun so far, but I come with 8 years of direct contact center experience and probably about 15 in total of customer service in general. My background, more specifically related to the contact center, is in Amazon and Mercari. At Amazon, I was a customer service manager leading multiple teams in the Kindle space and the tech industry. And with Mercari, I was more of a strategic leader, helping the business grow and scale as they were growing rapidly through COVID. So I've been able to get a good perspective of how to be a good people manager, and then also how to scale the business on a larger level. With regards to White Label and coming in and the growth that I came into, it was important that we kind of refocused on the fundamentals early on. The first thing is just making sure that we're there to answer the calls for your tenants and making sure that we're doing so efficiently. Also, making sure that the calls that we're answering, we have good, strong call evaluations in place. We're updating our quality rubrics regularly, and we do multiple audits to make sure that we're hitting the benchmarks that we're hoping for your business and for ours. We've been incentivizing the agents to close their leads, so it's not just something that they want to do because it's part of their job. There's something that they're actually benefiting from as well, which has helped our conversion rate. And a couple other things that we put into place that were important were the end of call survey satisfaction. And while you see that in a lot of other industries this is not something we had in place at White Label before we started. After every interaction, we send out a survey, and we're looking to get the tenant's feedback on how that went for 2 things. One, we'd like to improve our experience, both good and where there's areas of opportunity. But then also, we'd like to make sure we get a good voice of the customer so we can send that back to our clients. Maybe there's areas of opportunity that their tenants are mentioning to us, and we just want to make sure we can kind of eliminate any blind spots there. And then, as Jen has alluded to, we do very regular coaching with our agents. So every week they get 2 audits, but in addition to that, they also get to meet with their manager, talk about their areas of improvement. We go over all of their scorecard or their agent metrics, and to see how we can help them be the best version of themselves. Now, here are some of those kind of core metrics and where we really put most of our focus. The first is answer rate. We want to make sure that we're answering the calls that are coming through. And so our target is to answer 95% of those calls. And after the work that we put into place, we're seeing now that we're actually hitting that mark weekly, which is great. And I'm really proud of the team and being able to kind of scale that quickly as we've been growing. Any calls that we do miss that are in our office hours, go to voicemail, and we will make sure that we call those back as well. There's, of course, a couple calls that may be abandoned. And so that's usually what's in that 5%. But it's not just enough to just answer the calls. We also want to make sure we're doing that efficiently and tenants are not waiting too long on the line. So industry standard SLA is 80% of calls within 20 seconds. And that's a good, strong SLA. That's what we've adopted on our team as well. And again, as we've grown more recently, we've been able to start hitting that week over week and know that we're getting 80% of the calls within 20 seconds. And then around 95% of the calls within 2 minutes. So very proud of the team's performance there. Our first initial focus for CSAT is 85% rate. It would be great if we can increase that, but we're looking to kind of normalize how many CSAT surveys we're getting to make sure we have a really good baseline. But right now we're targeting that we're getting an 85% score, using those feedback, the written feedback that we have, doing further investigation on the negative CSAT scores we're getting, the positive ones, and how we can fold those into our operations. And then we have a really high standard for our quality score. We are looking for a 95%, and that's in there. That's in each rubric, each score that they get. They get 2 a week, so they're looking for that combined score. And then over the month, they're looking for a 95% as well. If we see that they're hitting this regularly, that's great. And as Jen mentioned, it's never a gotcha, but then we can look and say, if we're hitting 95% regularly, are there new areas of opportunity we can change and continue to look to invest into, or add layers into this quality score where we can find new areas of opportunity? And so we regularly do that. We review, and not try to make it more difficult, but we do try to make sure that we're upholding the standard that we want to uphold, and then get back to that 95% score. And that's pretty much our updates from the call center side. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. It looks like we have Lacey already answered it for us. Yep, CSAT is our customer satisfaction. So before we dive into the product updates, one of the things that I wanted to kind of elaborate and expand on as far as our call center goes, because Gabe and team have done such an incredible job really enhancing that product for us, is we manage assets of all classes at White Label. So we have anything from your very small property that is 50 units that is strictly drive up, to a ground up development property that has 800 units with multi levels, as well as just strict boat and RV. So one of the things that we really focus on is preparing all of our agents as well as our site managers to be able to manage the differences between them. So we use this company playbook that we call it for each location. So one of the things that we really focus on during onboarding is understanding all of the ins and outs of a location before we start managing it. So we work very closely with whether there's an on-site team currently, or the owner, the seller, whomever the individual might be. And we gather as much data. We want to know every nook and cranny of a facility, as well as every nuance, every potentially difficult tenant, to prepare all of our White Label team members on how to accurately handle the asset. This playbook automatically pops up on the agent's screen when the phone call comes in, and it allows them to know exactly how to service that tenant on the phone, whether it be from a service standpoint or from a sales side. So just wanted to make sure I was able to expand upon that. So we can dive into some of our product updates, which I'm so excited about. So we have a proprietary program that our engineering team has created called Store Bill. I've shared it with some of our existing clients already, kind of all of the benefits about it. So just to kind of quickly summarize, before Store Bill, the only way for a delinquent tenant, or even a current tenant just paying their upcoming rent to pay, like to have them pay, is to log in, right? They typically go to your website, they click the login button, they put in their username and their password. But what we have found is that obviously that requires more effort. So we wanted to create something that was just easy. We wanted to have an automated program that sends a direct link to their specific account only, where they don't have to log in and they can make a payment for whether it be their current rent or their past due. So it really simplifies the entire user experience from start to finish, especially when they go past due. We know, I mean, I'm sure you've all done it. You can probably put it in the chat if you want, how many past due calls you make and people hang up on you, or they're rude. They're like, I don't want to pay my bill, right? So with Store Bill, that automatically goes out on a cadence that we've created, and it's allowed us to actually collect more revenue as well as more auto pay for all of our facilities. And I actually have some metrics on the next slide, I believe. So 32% of our delinquent tenants have paid their bill through this program, where instead of us hounding them, it's all been automated, and again, a user-friendly experience. And then the best part about it is that obviously anyone who goes delinquent either has an old card on file if they were on auto pay, or they were never on auto pay. 73% of those tenants that have paid with Store Bill have automatically enrolled in auto pay, which now means that that's just going to be extra revenue coming in all of the time that you don't have to hunt for, that you weren't previously getting. So it obviously just makes everything more efficient. This one is near and dear to my heart, and I'm super excited about it. So our main property management software has always been StoreEdge. That is what we have built all of our in-house tools like Store Bill, or our website, or even our revenue management platform all around. I came from a universe of SiteLink before coming to White Label, and we have now made all of our integrations possible with SiteLink. So this means that as a company, we have decided to, we made the decision that we will provide, two different platforms for our clients based on their preference. So our internal teams are now fully trained and operable on SiteLink and support ready. Our backend tools and our dashboard and our website fully integrate with SiteLink. And we have now onboarded several facilities on it successfully. And I just love that it's come full circle and I'm able to work on it again. Another, exciting thing that we've done internally is we have migrated our hosting providers. This was definitely a big undertaking for our, in-house team, but it was necessary to provide a better service for our clients. So I'm excited that everything was successful. So our websites now have faster loading times to help convert, more visitors into tenants by reducing page delays. We have, better SEO advantages. So speed is a Google ranking factor. And we have enhanced security on our websites now to protect our clients from any type of, malicious intent from a potential renter. I actually just recently did a presentation at NISA on AI, so I'm pretty passionate about it, and everyone's talking about it, right? It's a buzzword, whether not just in the self storage industry, but also just everywhere, right? I mean, you look and it's AI this, AI that. You go on Instagram, Facebook. There's a a ton of different images on there, and you have to kind of figure out exactly what's real and what's not. So it's not just a buzzword. It is real, it is here, and it is something that you should be utilizing as an owner, operator, company, whatever the case may be. So, in our opinion, one of the best applications for AI has definitely been revenue management. I'm not sure if there's a slide after this one. Lisa. Okay. So, kind of here's what we're doing, planning next with our revenue management platform that does utilize AI. So, we're going to have churn prediction and risk management, more precise recommendations and and have it be tailored to local markets. So, what this all means is, in theory, other programs out there, what they do is they do data scraping, right? They're going to pull all of the information from the market and they're going to, based on the same class type of your location. Well, what we've built in here is that not only do we do exactly what everyone else is doing by scraping tools, but we've one-upped that layer where we're utilizing AI to figure out, is this actually the best rate for us to put to get more rentals into the facility? So we're doing a lot of different enhancements on that right now to kick it to the next step. And I love the fact that we're now going to be tailoring that to more local market dynamics as well, because we all know that one facility is not the same as the other, and it can definitely vary by demographic and location. So we have some new integrations as well. So we just partnered. I actually was speaking about this at the AI presentation as well. We just partnered with AI Lean. There are other providers out there as well, but we felt that AI Lean was the best service for us and for our clients. So if you're not familiar with it, it's an AI-powered lien and auction management platform that integrates with your facility management software. So it does integrate with storage as well as SiteLink, and it automates that lien process from start to finish. One of the things that has always been a pain point in any self-storage market, whether you're remote or auctions, it's painful, it's time consuming, and it opens you up to a lot of legal liability. I mean, you can be sued at any point for a wrongful sale suit. And if you haven't been to court for one of those before, I don't recommend it. 10 out of 10, not a great idea. It's awful. It's uncomfortable, and depending on the type of judge that you get that morning, I mean, it can make or break the outcome of that wrongful suit. So with AI Lean, it helps us mitigate all of that for our clients. It really, number one, automates the process, and it uses AI to ensure that every single step that has been taken is compliant with that state's lien law. They help us post all of the auction ads on time. If it requires a newspaper ad, they support us with that. So it's gained efficiency, it's decreased delinquency, and it's provided an extra level of protection for our clients. So we are so excited to be partnering with them. Another amazing partner that we started working with is Storage Reach. If you're not familiar with them, I mean, Kale is the individual that I was working with. I believe he's the co-founder of the company. I mean, he's phenomenal. But not only that, the product that they built is incredible. It's unbelievably user friendly, and it's exactly what you need for your self-storage facility. The hardest thing to do sometimes is to get reviews. Especially if you're remote, right? When you're a manned location and someone actually comes into the facility, it's a little bit easier to say, hey, I'm going to text you a link right now to go ahead and fill out a Google review for us about your experience, because they're right in front of you. They'll be more apt to fill that out. When you're doing things online or over the phone or 100% remotely with a QR code, you kind of lose that face-to-face piece. So getting those reviews can be harder. But by using a program, it's automated the entire process, and it has a cadence for it. So what it does is, as a tenant moves in, it does not automatically send it the minute they sign the lease. They have found that on day 2 after signing the lease, that is when you get the most return on your investment for having someone fill out your Google review. So it sends it on day 2, and then it sends an additional reminder. Then what Storage Reach also does, since it integrates with StoreEdge and SiteLink, is it scrapes your software, and every single month it will pick tenants that have never left a review, and it'll ask them to leave a review. It'll auto send it to them. It will not do that for delinquent tenants, which is obviously something you would never want. And just a little tip, when you are doing auctions, before you move that auction unit out after it sells, make sure you remove email. That way they don't get the auto review piece as well. And then the amazing thing about Storage Reach compared to maybe some other products in the market is if someone does leave a negative review, right? Like, no one's perfect. I mean, as a company, we learn and grow from areas of opportunity. As a human being, you should be growing from, areas of opportunity, right? So that means that sometimes someone's just going to be unhappy potentially, right? Or grumpy, and maybe they're going to leave a negative review. So what Storage Reach does is if a negative review comes through, it actually takes them to a survey first to leave more detail about why they're unhappy with their service. And with the way that the platform works, it helps mitigate some of that negative review actually filtering to Google, which then lowers your star rating. And I'm excited for this next piece, the partner spotlight. I'm going to invite, there he goes, Michael up to the stage.
Hey, how's it going? Hope everyone is doing well. I am Michael Starkman. I'm the COO of Keep It Simple Storage. We've really enjoyed our partnership with White Label. We just really feel like a lot of their operational initiatives and focuses are aligned with the products that we are building for the storage industry. Our company was founded by Rob Kopp. Rob has had 20 plus years of self-storage experience. I've been working with him in the industry for the last 7 or 8, starting as a store manager. So, really passionate about the industry, and, really we're setting out to provide owners and operators with simple tools to run more profitable businesses. So we're leveraging both hardware and software to make that happen. And today I'm going to be just going through our flagship product, which we call it our One Lock. So the One Lock uses near field communication, and not that anyone needs to be an NFC expert, but NFC basically is the same technology that Apple Tap to Pay, Google Pay, wireless charging runs off of. It's been around in phones for over the last 8 years. And really, it's the perfect technology stack for a smart lock in the self-storage industry, because it allows you to utilize the tenant's cell phone for both energy and network connectivity. And that network connectivity is used to talk to the property management software to see what the current status of that unit is. So we call it the one lock because it's one lock and that's it. There's no overlocks. There's no locks for vacant units. There's no cutting locks. Really everyone's key size of their key ring has significantly shrunk over the last couple of years. And it seems like everyone's still holding on to their storage key. So we're setting out to sort of change that. So the lock, we're able to leave one lock on each storage door because we're continuously communicating to your property management software through an API integration, and checking, hey, how should this lock behave during this specific interaction, right? Is the tenant delinquent? If so, the tenant's phone will not pass through the key. Same if they're in auction. All of this is automated. If they're delinquent and past due, a pop-up's going to come up, hey, you're past due. They can make the payment right there in the app. It runs it via API, property management software, processes it just like you would process any other payment, and then they have access immediately back to their lock. Really, I think it boils down to two main reasons a lot of owners really gravitate and appreciate our product. The first one is it helps them collect more money and essentially drive revenue. And a way it helps them do this is there is an immediate sync between the account balance and account access. So regardless on, every state's a little different in terms of laws, but the moment that you are able to lock them out, our app will lock them out. So if it's a manual process with manual overlocking, there is a lag time between when they're past due and when that overlock goes on. And just through studying tenant behavior at different facilities, we've seen that there are a lot of serial overlockers, as we like to call them, that sort of know the overlocking process. They know how to sort of cheat the system. If it's the 5th of the month and the overlock, or the 7th or 8th of the month and the overlock isn't on the unit yet, they at times can sneak in and clear out their unit. So it's missing out on revenue opportunities there. And we essentially just help close that gap through technology and efficiency. So we've actually found that about 3 to 4 tenants on average per facility are blocked when a client is using our system. We have a lock log, and we see about 3 to 4 tenants actually enter the facility, attempt to open their lock, and they're blocked because they're past due. And keep in mind, these facilities have gates, so the gate it's doing a good job, but it's not doing the entire job. There are still folks, if it's through tailgating, if it's through sneaking into the facility, that tenants make their way into the facility there. So we're able to drive revenue by helping you all collect more of what you're billing every month. And then the second thing is going to be a technology fee. Everyone sort of feels a little different about this, but some groups really gravitate towards turning this into a profit center. And if it's a monthly fee, if it's a upfront in addition to the admin fee, they'll use a smart lock solution as a way to charge the tenant if it's monthly or upfront for using the lock. The second thing is really increased security. I think the big thing here is the documentation. So every single open or close, regardless if it's the staff at the facility, if it's the tenant, if it is an auction winner, if it's someone who gets a key shared with them, there's accountability across all of those different processes. Every open and every close is logged and recorded, in a CSV file, so that the groups that we work with always have access to that there. It really drives accountability. Gate logs, like I sort of referred to earlier, don't always tell the entire story. So whether it's folks sneaking in, folks living in units, folks tailgating into a facility, when we have the record at the individual door level, operators are able to learn a lot more and get rid of a lot of problems that are going on at their facility that they might not be aware of. So, and we're able to do all of this at a fraction of the cost of what some of the other smart locks are out there in the industry, because we're leveraging a much leaner stack of technology. So we've got our one lock in a disc style, which is what you see here on the slide, a cylinder, and also a full latch assembly. So same technology, 3 different configurations. There's no batteries, like I said, because we're leveraging NFC. There's no wires. It's just what you see. Our latch is just 4 bolts to the door. It's good to go. So yeah, this is really it's really been fun to bring this to operators and see the impact that it has had in their day to day. And we've really enjoyed working with White Label and some of White Label's clients, and just helping drive efficiency. So.
Oh, awesome. That was muted. Thank you. Before we kind of dive into some recent success stories, just to kind of elaborate a bit about what you heard with KISS and why we really chose to have him join us for this webinar is obviously smart technology. You don't have to put it at your facility, and it can be a little daunting and maybe a little scary when you try to implement that. But at the end of the day, it's where you really gain efficiency and also tenant satisfaction. The worst thing that any operator or anyone can do for their asset is have a system in place that is so manual that it can create a negative user experience where they're going to head and leave a negative review. So by automating it with any type of smart lock function, it allows you to just, they rent online, they get the text message, they're able to download the app, access their unit. And on the flip side of that, when they go delinquent, you don't have to worry about whether it's a manned location or not, whoever is working your asset, you don't have to stress about them going and putting an overlock or removing an overlock. It's all automated within that platform for ease of use. And also just it's awesome from a bottom line standpoint. At the end of the day, the less kind of payroll you have to have, obviously, the better. And then as you just heard as well, you can have a higher administrative fee, which is extra revenue to compensate for the cost of your tech stack. Or you can, have a tech fee added on instead if you don't want a higher administrative fee. So we wanted to kind of share some recent success stories that we're just so proud of, especially working with, our clients. So Lockhart Storage Center, this is in Davenport, Florida. We recently just opened this location with the Lockhart team. I want to say roughly 2 months ago now, or 3 at max. I know we have 3 on here. I think it's like 2.5-ish, close to 3. So we have, through a proper pricing strategy and team effort by having the best on-site person possible, we have our occupancy up at 29% from zero, and we have an 84% tenant protection capture rate. The thing I love about this location and why I love to share this story is that one of the things that we focus on as a management company and just as people in general is the partnership with our clients. We know that it's never one size fits all. You can have a location in, Oshkosh, right? And then you can have one in Davenport, Florida, and they're going to be very different. So you need to treat them differently. And if you only have one method to the madness of lease up or ECRI or even promotional rates, you're never going to truly succeed, right? Because you need to look at the demographic and all of the specifics surrounding that current location. And with Lockhart, we were able to work closely with ownership, and we developed an amazing street rate strategy that honestly others were not doing surrounding the location. This property is actually surrounded by several different REITs. So as you know, that can be very challenging in a lease up property because your REITs typically have different algorithms built in where they're just going to tank rates and then go on the back end with ECRI. So instead of following suit, so that way it didn't mimic exactly what they were doing, we did it slightly different. So instead of having your promotional rate on your website, we actually lowered the street rate to be the promotional rate, and we educated our tenant in a different manner. What we've learned is that prospective renters are smart. They know that when they see 50% off the first 2 months or 50% off the first 3 months, that's only there for a temporary time. So by us just lowering the street rate and then educating the tenant differently about their quote unquote summer special, we've been able to secure all of those rentals, compared to what the REITs are doing around us. Another success story for us is MySpace self-storage. So within the first, 6 months, we increased our occupancy at, by 9.7% and our tenant protection by 8.5%. This is actually a manned location for us as well. So really by having our operations manager work very closely with the on-site team, we've been able to help drive those results. And again, our efficient website was a big improvement for this location when we first onboarded it. Okay, and I love this one. So I actually went and completed this transition, which, if anyone knows me from my prior life, I absolutely loved doing due diligence visits and being on site. There's nothing like rolling up a door and cleaning a unit and having it, sparkle and shine for you. So, in the first 3 months of transitioning Space Station, this is in, upstate New York, we increased our occupancy by 8.9% and our revenue by 10.3%, and the tenant protection capture by 283%. So we partner with Safe Lease for our tenant protection program. It actually gives an amazing split to all of our clients from a bottom line standpoint. But it has an automated program built in for all of our locations where it just auto enrolls you. And then if you have homeowners insurance on there and that policy expires, it auto loops that tenant in after that coverage has lapsed. Despite the first two that I just kind of shared with you that were manned, Space Station is unmanned. So we assigned an incredible remote site manager to this location, and we hired a wonderful boots on the ground. They just take care of this location as if it was their own. So it's consistently and tip top shape, and tenants are happy. They have been leaving us great reviews. So I love this one just since I actually was there on day one when we onboarded it. So that's everything that we really wanted to share today. Thank you all so much for joining us. I can't tell you how much it means to myself and the white label team to just share a little bit about our story and how we came to be. It's been unbelievably rewarding, and of course it's always challenging when you have growth, and none of it would be possible without our clients and our amazing team that we have on staff. And we have a little bit of time for some Q&A, so I figured I can go ahead and answer just a quick few of them. So I believe Alex in the chat had asked, what is your tech stack for all of your operations? So our tech stack is 100% customizable. So we do not require our clients to, have tech on site, but we do give recommendations of what they should have. And we have partnerships with everyone so that way we can get you the best cost when you join the white label team. So for example, I always recommend cameras and access control at minimum. You could do the Kiss One lock if you're looking for smart locks, or even Da Vinci to help secure your facility. But really what we do during our onboarding process is we talk to our clients and understand what is feasible right now, what makes sense, and also what you should implement based on your demographic and area. And then it looks like we have a question for what's the definition of boots on the ground, a maintenance company? So great question. So your boots on the ground, so we secure them, and we also have a vendor that we utilize as well to find boots on the ground if needed. But what we do is we just find the best person possible that's going to help maintain it. So the sole purpose of their job is to ensure that the asset doesn't look like it's remote, right? That's where remote management can really go down the drain quite quickly, is when your asset looks as though no one's ever there. So we hire team members that are going to do all of our lock checks for us. They're going to send us video recordings, do live video calls with us. They send us photos of their work. We do use a program called Notify that we're rolling out with our boots on the ground to help streamline that process. So that way it integrates with StoreEdge and SiteLink. And that's been amazing to roll out for us because we now have adjustments happen in real time within the system instead of really lagging as far as we need to update this unit and that unit. But what they do is they clean, they sweep, they do lock checks, they do our lock cuts for auctions. They will do general kind of cleanup as far as like picking up trash, pulling out weeds. And then, if they are, sometimes our boots on the ground are landscapers. So we incorporate that in with their contract of, hey, when you're there to mow the lawn, this is what we need you to do as well. So it varies by location to location. But kind of the way that we've quizzed everybody and we work through it, we've been able to find really amazing people for our owners. And then, how do you ensure the delinquency is either 4% or below? So with that question, it's AI Lean supporting us. So we use AI Lean to help us keep that delinquency down, but we also have a dedicated team for our past due collections, and then also our in-house program called Store Bill. So when we add all three of these together, it really is the best kind of delinquency package that you can have to really get everything where it needs to be for our owners. So, how do you manage all of this growth with customer service and client communication? So, great question. So, it's not always perfect. When you have rapid growth, sometimes there can be growing pains, and we're a very fully honest company about that. So every time that we onboard somebody to our team, we really want to make sure that we communicate that with our clients. We don't want any surprises, and we learn from our mistakes, and we let our clients know that too, because no management company, no person is ever going to get everything right all in the first time, and that transparency and partnership is really important. So one of the things for us is that, again, it's not a one size fits all. So if we need to modify something for your asset because that's what you think is best, then we're going to do that for you as the client from a keeping you happy standpoint, but also a partnership standpoint. And really, it's just all about staying on top of it, and making sure that our team knows that our top priority are clients and tenants. Those will always come first. Not sure if there's any other questions, but you can always you can visit our website and reach out to our team. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or even email me. It's Jen at White Label Storage if you have any other questions at all. Again, I can't thank you all enough for being here today. I hope you all have a great day and a wonderful Memorial Day weekend.